Today we're visiting my friend Jeremy at his studio, Ripple Mobile Arts. Come on! I like these red doors. Hi, Jeremy!
Hello, friends.
Come on in, guys.
Come on into the studio.
Hey, friends. I'm here with my friend Jeremy. Jeremy is an artist. What kind of art do you like to make?
I like to make some sculptures out of working on the pottery wheel. Would you like to hold a little clay?
Yeah?
It's very sticky.
Ooh. It's sticky and squishy. It doesn't really smell like anything.
It's made up of rocks that have broken apart by either water or just rocks rubbing together, the friction. So when I work with a clay, I'm going to make a ball by cupping my hand and packing it just like a snowball. Do you like making snowballs?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna take this ball of clay and I smack it down. And then we use something called a foot pedal. And the foot pedal is located right here. So you can see that. It actually helps it to spin. I'm gonna use my foot. You can hear it going. Now let me show you what happens when we go too fast. That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
I'm going to use a finger and I seal it down. That way it's locked in place. A little bit of water, pouring it on. We don't need to dump it on. And I do something called coning. This helps to stretch the clay up. For now, we're gonna go up just a bit higher, and then we squish it down. When I squish it down, were my hands together or were they apart?
Together.
Together, exactly. Now together, they work together. Apart, they kind of fight against each other. I'm going to middle speed again, and I'm working on centering, just like this. I have my hand, my left hand, kind of like a handshake, except I've cut my hand like I'm packing the snowball, and then a fist. Now I'm not punching the clay, I'm pressing on the clay. And everything that I do has to be very steady. Now I'm going to dig in with either my thumbs or fingers. Now if you notice, my hands are not apart, they're together. So I dig into the clay, I'm making a hole to start out. Now I'm going to open it up with one hand connected to the other. And I stop the wheel, and it's opened up a bit.
Wow. It used to look like a donut, and now it looks like a bowl.
It looked kind of like a bowl. Now, this could be a bowl for your pet. Maybe it's for your cat or your dog. Or maybe this bowl is for your cereal. Has anybody here been on a merry-go-round before?
I have. I went round and around and around.
Around? What happens if somebody tries to push you too fast? Is it hard to hang on?
Yeah.
Very hard to hang on. I've seen people fall off. I've almost fallen off. So what I want to do is I want to slow it down, remembering it's kind of like a merry-go-round. If I go too fast, the clay goes too far. It starts going out and I lose complete control of working with it. So I slow it down even slower than I had it before. I'm going to add some water, and then I'm going to pretend my left hand's going in for a handshake. How do you do? And then my right hand, I make a little hook. and I'm going to pull the clay up. When I worked on the pottery wheel and started to learn this, I had to learn lots of patience, and I had to learn to go very slow sometimes, almost as slow as a turtle. So I'm pulling this up. Let's see, I can either bring it in or I could pull it out. Would you have a recommendation? What would you like?
What do you think? Bring
What would
it in,
you guys like?
pull it out.
We can go in or out.
Let's go out.
Sounds good. So if I pull it out, both hands work together. And if I can, I like to have something called, I like to call it a butterfly hand grip, just like this. We can make a butterfly. Now, when I pull it out, I support it on the outside and I pull it from the inside. So I'm going to use a finger at the bottom, and I dig in just a tiny bit like this, and then I use a wire. We need a strong wire. If you use dental floss at home for your teeth, you can even use dental floss. I'd like to show you a crazy head that I've been working on.
I want to see it.
Can I show you a crazy head? All right.
It looks magical.
It's fun. I've dug into it, I've added clay, I've made little snails, and I've stuck it on the side. Look at this wavy hairdo up here. Maybe they just woke up, didn't bother doing anything with their hair. That could have been it.
Jeremy and I just finished learning all about how to make a pot on the potter's wheel. So cool. That clay is wet. Did you know that before clay is ready to be used as a cereal bowl or a sculpture, it goes through lots of different steps? Jeremy, will you tell us about all the steps clay goes through before we can use it?
Absolutely. So when we work on the pottery wheel, it starts out very wet. We have our bowl. We have a bone dry piece. Then some people like to bisque fire it next. After we've bisque fired it, you can do very detailed painting. Glaze is a special paint that only works with clay. So when we paint it and we fire this, which is just another word kind of like baking the clay, it goes to 2,000 degrees and it turns out like this.
That is very hot.
This one is rough, this one is rough, this one is pretty smooth after it's fired, and it's stronger. When you put glaze on it, this becomes stronger. This is maybe a mommy or daddy turtle. Maybe we can make a baby turtle.
Oh, cute!
What we want to do first is I start out with a ball of clay. Now it's not quite a ball yet, so we're going to pack it like a snowball. We can use our hands. We can roll it on our boards. We might notice, well, there's a tennis ball here. What in the world do we do with a tennis ball? Do we bounce it? No. Do we throw it? No. We smash it. So we've rolled it around, now we can smash the clay. This is fun. Now when I smash the clay, I want to keep these edges pretty thick. So I'm rolling it and I'm tapping or smashing it. Now it looks like a pancake or maybe a big cookie.
Ooh, does it taste like a
Probably
cookie?
not.
Oh, okay.
It would taste a little salty. Now, I have my slab. This is called slab. The next step is breaking some off with our fingers, and then we're going to use that piece of clay. Now yours might be a little different size than mine. That's just fine. We're going to roll the clay back and forth, just like the bottom of a rocking chair, going back and forth, stretching it out. I like to stretch it out as long as your slab, just like this. And then we're going to do another one.
It looks like a worm.
A worm. It's like a little worm. So if it's a little longer, we can break it. If it's just the right size, we'll put it off to the side for a second and we'll make a second one. We make 2. How's that going?
Great.
Great. Now I have 2 pieces. So I have my legs, and then we're going to work on the turtle shell.
Okay.
So a turtle shell, let's take some of this off. And I like to make a piece maybe about this size. So this is maybe the size of a bouncy ball. Boing, 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 boing. Oh, it doesn't bounce, does it?
I tried it.
Now we are going to do something called a pinch pot. We have a slab, we have coils, now we have a pinch pot. We're going to put our thumb in, just like this. What I'm going to do now is start pinching the clay so it opens up. We want it to look like a little cup, a little cup. So we have our coils, we have our pinch pot, we have our slab. Now we have 2 more things we want to make.
Okay.
For our turtle. One is the head. So I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit. This might be about right. I'm going to leave that. And the last thing is the tail.
Ooh.
Now when I roll a tail, I'm going to make another coil, except this time I'm going to squeeze on one side only. I'm rolling it just on one side.
So it's like a little point.
A point. These are all separate pieces. We're going to join them together. The first step is either using a brush, or I like to use my finger, just like this. Your finger is your brush. And you put some glue all along the bottom of our legs. We crisscross it so it's right in the middle, just like you've divided it in half. Now we have our other legs, and we will crisscross. So we've added some slip, lots of glue. We're going to crisscross, and now we have, how many sections do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can put my head in between any of these legs. Now when I connect it, I want to bend it up like this. And then I'm going to do one more thing. I bend it out. And then my tail, I can put a little bit of slip on the bottom of my tail, just like this. So I've joined it. Now I can use my turtle shell. This is one of the last steps. I'm going to put a little bit of slip. This is going to go right in the middle. Now, if I push this down, we don't want to push it down from the top. You know what happens?
Our turtle would be smushed.
It would be, exactly. So we want to move our hands in just like a claw, just like we're grabbing something, and we're connecting it to the legs and the tail and the head, just like this. And I have the beginnings of my turtle. Mr. Turtle.
Is his name Mr. Turtle?
Yep, Mr. Turtle.
What do you think we should name our turtle? Maybe Larry?
Larry the Turtle. Larry and Mr. Turtle.
Larry and Mr. Turtle.
Now I still have a little bit of extra clay.
Me too.
This extra clay, I can make lots of things. I can make a little eyeball like this. I can also make some tall grass.
Hello, I am Larry the Turtle. I just got made.
Hello, Larry.
Hello, Mr. Turtle.
Yeah.
My name's Larry.
And the last thing, we have to put our name on it.
Ooh, we have to sign it.
We have to sign the bottom. That's what an artist likes to do.
Jeremy, we had so much fun in your studio today. You are an amazing artist and you taught us so much. We learned about how to make pots on a potter's wheel. We learned how to sculpt. We learned all about clay. We loved being here with you. Jeremy's studio is called Ripple Mobile Arts. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana, and you can learn more about Jeremy, his work, and taking classes from him on how to do cool things like this at ripplemobilearts.com. Thank you so much. We had the best day.
I enjoyed it so much making these turtles, and I hope you enjoyed it at home. It's ripplemobilearts.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I am a bunny, and I have journeyed far and wide to find the largest carrot on top of the largest mountain. I'm here! Ah! Whoa! A rope! Someone's come to help me!
Hi, my name's Kylie, and I made this little rabbit today out of polymer clay, so I had to come outside and try it out, see if it was good to play with, right? Turns out it is. I'll come back and finish this story with you, but first, do you want to learn how to make your very own polymer clay rabbit? Let's go to the studio and I'll show you how to make your own rabbit so you can tell your own stories. And then we'll finish this one up. Come on.
To make your polymer clay bunny, here's the things you're gonna need. Polymer clay. If you don't wanna use polymer, that's totally fine. You could make this with air-dried clay or Play-Doh or any kind of clay, really. It'll just depend how you finish it and how strong it is once it's done. I chose polymer clay because it's really easy to use, and once you bake it, it's hard, and you can bake it in your oven, so it's really easy. Polymer clay, my favorite brand is Sculpt. If you want to put a puffy tail on your rabbit, you're gonna need some pom-poms, toothpicks, and I used a little bit of paint and a little bit of glass for mine, but you wouldn't need that part. You'll also need an oven. Are you ready to make it? Let's do it. You can make your bunny whatever color you want. I'm going to use this light yellow. Break off 2 balls of clay, just like that. One a little bit bigger and one a little bit smaller. Roll them up. Now, I'm going to take it in my hand and just flatten it a little bit. This will make the spheres, or the balls, into circles or discs. Next. Great, now one is going to be the body and one is going to be the head. You can put this down flat to work on it. Put your body down first and then attach your head. Give it a little swoosh. You don't need to go super hard. Great. Next, we're going to make the ears of the bunny, my favorite part. Take a little bit more of whatever color you want and break off 2 equal pieces. If you want your ears to be really big and really long, use more clay. I'm rolling these into coils. Then, I'm going to slightly flatten them with my fingers just by pinching them and make the ends of each coil into a point, like that. I'm going to break a toothpick in half and I'm going to put each one in the end of each ear. Now I'm going to take my ears on toothpicks and put them into my bunny's head. This will make sure that they stick and stay up. Starting to look like a bunny, right? Now, if you want to put some color on the inside of your rabbit's ears, go ahead and do that. Then just stick it right inside your ear. And you're just gonna press that together lightly. You can bend your rabbit's ears to give it a little bit more personality. I think I'm going to flop one down a little bit, like that. Just one though. Time to make the face. I'm going to take a very little bit of clay and roll it into a ball. Then I'm going to shape it into an oval and flatten it just a little bit. This will be the cheeks of our bunny. I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to make a little nose to put it right on top. I'm going to use this teal color. You can use whatever color you want. Put it on top and give it a little smush. Now that you have your little cheeks and your nose of your rabbit attached, use a toothpick to make a mouth. Great. And then I'm going to make some holes in this so it looks like places for whiskers. What is this rabbit missing? Eyes. The only thing left to make with clay is the bunny's feet. So, take a coil, break it in half, and attach it right to the underside of your rabbit. Great. You can also use your toothpick to make little lines to make it look like your bunny has toes. The kind of polymer clay that I used for this project needs to bake at 275 degrees for 15 minutes, so I'll see you in 15 minutes. The bunny is out of the oven, and now we can add a few more details with paint if you want to. I'm gonna flip mine upside down and add a little bit of a gloss finish. This just makes it look shiny. Add my gloss paint on. And now I'm gonna add some detail in the eye to make them look shiny and a little tongue or mouth. So I just have a little paintbrush. I'm gonna grab a little white paint, just the smallest dot, and just boop, boop. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of pink paint and paint this little area right here by the mouth. There we go. And now it's time for, I think, the most fun part, the big poofy tail. Now, let's get back to our story.
It's you, my long-lost twin. Thank you for your help. Now let's go get that carrot. Wow, this is a large and yellow, peely carrot. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious.
Hi friends, thanks for being here with me today. I'm really excited because today there's something in our maker box. This is a mysterious box and it has something in there. When we open it up, we'll have new ideas and new questions and new inspiration for our art together. Are you ready to see what's inside? Me too. Oh, it's a mask. Do you have one of these? This mask is made out of something that feels like paper, and it's to keep us healthy. There's more in here. Oh, it's another mask. This one is made out of a paper plate, and I think it's a disguise. Oh, this is a toy, but you could also use it as a mask. Has lots of shapes on it. Oh, this one's very funny. It's a bread mask. This would be great if you were also hungry. Oh, and I love this one. It's a leaf mask. Cool. Masks are made out of lots of different things for lots of different reasons. For example, which one of the masks that were in the maker box would be best if I wanted to blend into this tree? Would it be this one? Doesn't work?
How about this one? The mask made out of a toy? Too yellow? All right. Can you even see me? You're right. The leaf mask works best when I want to blend in with leaves. I love masks. Hey, I have an idea. Do you want to make a mask with me? You do? All right, to the studio.
We are going to make a mask together. A mask that fits right to my face that helps me look like something else, a disguise. What do you think the mask should look like? Maybe an animal? What's your favorite animal? I like dogs. I like turtles a lot. I like cats. Do you want to help me make a cat mask? Let's do it. Today, we're going to use something called plaster cloth to make a mask together. This comes in a big long roll with plaster in the fabric. It kind of looks like something called gauze. When the plaster is dry, it's not sticky or anything. It just feels like kind of crunchy paper. But when the plaster gets wet, it turns sticky. And when it hardens again, it stays in whatever shape it was when you first put it on your form. Because we're going to be making a mask for my face, guess what our form is going to be for this mask sculpture today? That's right, my face. The first thing we need to do is to cut this into smaller strips. I'm going to cut it in strips that are about 1 inch wide. All of our strips are cut. The next thing that I need to do is make sure that all of my hair is away from my face. I don't want the plaster to harden in my hair and then pull my hair out. That would hurt. The other thing I'm gonna do so that it doesn't hurt to take the mask off is to put Vaseline on my face, all of the places that the mask is gonna go. If you are making this project wherever you are, you probably want an adult to help you with all of the next steps. Let's do it. Okay, this is Vaseline. It doesn't smell very much, but look at it. It's really shiny. It feels really slippery. And that's the whole point. I'm gonna make my face really slippery so that when I put the mask plaster on my face, it can easily come off. Ready? Ooh! It feels slippery. All right, I have my face all shiny and slippery. Are you ready for the next step?
This is a piece of the plaster cast, and I'm gonna dip it in water. When I dip it in the water, it gets kind of creamy and soft. Then I can put it right on my face. When I smooth it down, you see that the holes in the plaster start to go away. They start to get filled in with the creamy plaster, which once it's wet, it's not crunchy anymore. It's nice and smooth. Cool, huh? All right, let's keep going. Do I look like a cat yet? Now it looks a little bit like a superhero mask. If you were a superhero, what would your magical power be? It's coming together. We want to get about 3 coats of plaster on our mask before we are done. Right now, I'm trying to get this mask symmetrical, which means it's the same on each side. Like one eye on this side, one eye on this side, one ear on this side, one ear on this side. And so it looks kind of the same on both sides. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're getting very close. The base of my mask is definitely done. It's drying on my face, so I'm trying to keep my face very still. The next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit more plaster to make my cat. What do cats have that I don't have on the top of my head? Pointy ears. Let's do it. Got some ears. I'm going to work on my nose. What do you think? I think it's gonna look really cool, especially when we get to paint it. So now I just need to wait for it to dry a little bit before I take it off of my face. And then when I take it off, I'll let it dry all the way and we'll come back to my studio to make it look like a really cool cat.
Meow.
Meow.
Hey, our mask is dry. It's time to paint it. Masks are so cool because we get to make a lot of decisions about how we want to look when we wear it. If you were going to paint this mask, what would you paint it to look like? That's a great idea. I think I'll paint it to look like my favorite colors and my favorite shapes. What's your favorite color? Mine is yellow. And my favorite shape, I think, I like all the shapes, but I really like circles. What's your favorite shape? Awesome. So I decided that I'm gonna paint my mask yellow with some circles on it. Let's do it. First, I have to put the paint on my palette. Yellow. I'll get some black. And then I already have some white on there. The first thing I'm gonna do is put down a base coat of yellow. A base coat means it's just the first coat that we're gonna put on. We'll probably paint more over it later. I have a base coat on. Next, I need to decide what color I want my cat's nose to be. Maybe gray. Do you know how to make gray? I do. We're going to take some of our white paint first, and then we're gonna add in a little bit of black. That's an awesome gray. I'm gonna put it right on the cat's nose. You'll see I made a little bit of a mistake right here. You see how the gray went into the white? That can be a little frustrating during art sometimes, when you're trying to get things to look just how they look in your head, but it doesn't quite work when you're putting it on whatever you're making. This is actually a part about art that I really like. Sometimes mistakes teach us to be patient. Sometimes they teach us to try again and again and again. Sometimes we can turn our mistakes into something really cool looking. We can take the mistake and turn it into an opportunity for more art. I choose that one. Since I accidentally got some gray right here, I'm gonna go ahead and just make that line of gray really big and match on both sides. That word symmetrical again. What's on this side is also on this side. Now I'm gonna take a different brush and I'm gonna fill it up with white paint. Just white, not gray. And then I'm gonna make the colors blend together. Cool. We turned a mistake into art. And now it's darker on one side and lighter on the other. It's starting to look like a cat. Oh, I know. The next thing we need to paint is the cat's whiskers. All right, now I think I'm gonna take the black and outline everything that I just painted so it pops a little bit more. What else can we paint to make this cat unique? I have an idea. You know how we've been making this cat symmetrical? Like one eye on this side, one eye on this side, one ear on this side, one ear on this side? Sometimes things are special because they're not perfect on both sides. Let's put a spot over just one of this cat's eyes. That won't be symmetrical, that will be asymmetrical. And then we'll see that things are sometimes even cooler because they're not perfect and not exactly the same. Let's try it and see. What do you think? My own special, very unique mask that fits just my face. I love it. Now I just need to wait for my mask to dry and then I can put it on. I can hardly even wait. The mask is done. I love it. I feel unique. I feel special. I feel like a cat.
Welcome to the studio. Are you ready to make some origami with me? I'm excited. Let's start by making a really simple dog. A lot of origami starts with a square piece of paper. A square is a shape that has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 corners. Corners are the little points at the very edge of a shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of paper that we use from our house, if it isn't origami paper, isn't square. So I'm going to show you how to always get a perfect square to start your origami. I'm going to start this one by cutting my bag apart. Now my bag is cut apart in kind of a very not perfect rectangle. I'm going to make it as straight as I can on the edges. Now, I'm going to take this corner and bring it up to this side as far as it will go so that it all lines up. This side should be as perfectly lined up to this side as you can get it. We're gonna do this by making, like I said, a fold. A fold is just when you take a piece of paper and fold it. Ready? This side lined up with this side by moving this corner. Let's do it. We're gonna fold up, 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 and line these up the best we can. Then we're going to make a fold and we're going to crease the fold. We crease something by using our fingernail or the edge of something sharp and just smoothing it down. That gives us a good line. Now, to finish making our square, we're just gonna cut off this little extra part. Now we turned our piece of paper into a square, ready to fold. The dog origami starts with a triangle. The way that we're going to make a triangle out of this square is to fold it in half diagonally. To fold something in half means we're going to take one piece of paper and fold it into 2 sections. We're going to do that not vertically, straight up and down, or horizontally, straight side to side, but diagonally, which is both at the same time. So we're gonna fold it like this. Once you have your fold and your crease, you'll see that you end up with a triangle. A triangle is a shape that has 3 sides and 3 corners. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Put your triangle on the table so that the bottom point is facing you. Now, we're going to take these two corners and fold them down for the ears of our dog. We're going to do this with a kind of fold called a valley fold. That means that when we fold it, it's going to end up looking a little bit like a valley. So I'm going to take this corner and fold it down, just like that. Do you see the valley? Now I want to do the same thing on the other side so that my dog is symmetrical, which just means that both sides are the same. Fold and crease. You see his little ears? So cute. Now we're going to do another valley fold with this corner. We're going to bring this corner up to about the middle of this space. Ready? Up, 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 up. Fold and crease. We're going to do one more fold, and then this little dog is ready to bark. We're going to take this corner and we're going to fold it down again in a valley fold about halfway into the triangle. This will make a little nose for our dog. Fold and crease. And just like that, we have a little dog face. You can even color it a little bit if you want to. I want to. The next thing I'm going to fold is a cat to go along with our dog. This time I'm going to use some origami paper. The origami paper is already a square, so we don't need to worry about that part. We're going to start the same way that we did with our dog. We're going to fold our paper in half with a diagonal fold. Ready? This corner is going to meet this corner. Perfect. We have a triangle again. 1, 2, 3 sides. 1, 2, 3 points. Now take this bottom point and face it toward you again. This time, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take this bottom point and fold it all the way up to the top side, just like this. Now we're going to make the ears for our cat. This we're going to do a little bit differently than we did with our dog. To make the ears for our cat, we're going to bring this side of the triangle on the right down to the middle triangle bottom side, just like this. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side to make it symmetrical. Now it looks like the triangle in the middle is getting a little hug. Now we're going to fold our ears up. We're gonna have this side meet this side. Ready? Like that. And this side meet this side. Same thing on the other side. And crease. Do you see the cat's little ears? Oh, she's cute. Okay, now we're going to make valley folds on both sides with these bottom corners. Fold them up and crease. Just like that. Now we're almost done. Turn your cat around. This time, instead of doing a valley fold, we're going to do a mountain fold, which just means that instead of folding it so that it goes this way, we're going to fold it so that it goes this way. So find the tops right here on the top layer right by your ears. We're going to fold them under in a mountain fold like that. This is going to let us see a little bit more of the cat's ears and make her head a little rounder. And crease. Meow! You can draw a face or a design on this little cat too. obviously I'm gonna do that. Woof, woof, woof. Meow, meow, meow. Woof, woof, woof. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, they're friends.
We are going to be making some little turkeys together today, and I'm so excited about it. We're gonna be using something called polymer clay. It comes in a package like this. There's lots of different brands. Polymer clay is a plastic-based clay, and you can cook it in your oven. You don't even need a kiln to fire it. You just fire it on a low temperature in your oven. It's awesome. The thing about polymer clay that can be a little tricky at first is that it is kind of dry sometimes, so you need to soften it up. This is how it came out of the package. This is how it works best to sculpt it. Here's some tips on how to do that. I like to start by heating my polymer clay up with my hairdryer. Let's give it a try now. I'm gonna pick it up and knead it together with my fingers, which just means I'm gonna press it together. Pressing it together will loosen it up and make it softer. If you're finding that this is still pretty hard, you can add a little bit of Vaseline. That'll make it a little squishier when you're kneading it, but it'll help soften it up too. Squish, 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 squish. All right, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna mix my browns together. To make our turkey today, we're just going to make some different shapes. I'm gonna divide my first color, which I'm using brown. This will be the color of the body of my turkey and of the head. I'm gonna divide it into thirds. So here's a hole, and I'm going to divide it into 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take 1/3 and put it aside for the head, and I'm gonna keep 2/3 and roll it into a shape called an oval. There it is, my oval. That's the body of my turkey. Now I'm gonna make its head. I'm gonna roll this piece of clay into a circle. Now I'm gonna put my circle onto my oval and join them together. Now, our turkey needs a beak. I'm gonna use yellow clay for mine. I'm just gonna take a little bit and then shape it into a triangle. That's a triangle, and it's a beak. I'm gonna put my beak on my turkey's face. Perfect. Now, I'm going to make my turkey some eyes. I'm gonna start with white, and I'm gonna roll 2 small circles of clay. Whoa, those are some big eyes, turkey. Now I'm gonna roll 2 smaller balls of black. Next, I'm gonna put a little coil in each part of the black so it looks like his eyes are shiny and happy. Look how cute he is already. Next, we're gonna make him some little feet. I'm gonna use orange to do this. I'm gonna roll it into a circle,
And then, just using a pencil or whatever you're using, I'm going to take some clay out to make some pointy turkey claws on this guy. Sometimes in sculpture, you're adding things. Like we added the beak and the eyes, we added clay to make this sculpture. That's called additive sculpture. Sometimes in sculpture, you're taking things away. That's called subtractive sculpture. Kind of like math. We're gonna make the feet with subtractive sculpture. We're gonna take away clay, and that's how we're gonna make our shape. Feet. Now, I'm gonna put this guy on his feet. Next, we're gonna make some spots for feathers. I'm gonna use real feathers for my project. You could also make yours out of clay if you want. I can't bake my feathers in the oven because they would get too hot. So I'm gonna take them out and we'll put them back in once our turkey is all fired. I just got our turkey out of the oven. The clay is nice and hard now. I let it cool off so it's safe to touch, and he's ready to get his feathers. If you wanted the feathers to stay in forever, you could put a little bit of glue in each of the feather holes that we made. I decided I'm not going to glue them in case I ever want my turkey to have different colored turkey feathers. I'll just be able to switch them out. I'm just gonna put my feathers back in the holes that we made. And ta-da! If you want to see more art videos, check out KylieMakesIt.com and subscribe to this channel. I love making art with you. See you next time.